When I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, my life was forever changed.
Instead of slumber parties and hanging out with her friends at 13 years old, AmandaDi Lella was instead worrying about her blood sugar and giving herself insulin injections. Growing up, Di Lella says she saw the struggle to afford the expensive vials of insulin firsthand.
Insurance dictated a lot, of the things that my parents did. Like if there was not good insurance, my parents couldn't take that job because they had a child counting on them at home that needed this great insurance for like all of these supplies to stay alive.
Rationing insulin became a reality for her family. It is a dangerous decision and unfortunately one too many Americans have to make. According to the American Diabetes Association, approximately 25% of those living with diabetes here in the U.S. are taking less than their prescribed dose. And it could get even worse. Some are seeking the drug in Canada or Mexico, seeking it out on the black market, or not taking it altogether. This can lead to long-term health complications and even death. So exactly how unaffordable is insulin? So unaffordable, even freshman Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez weighed in on Twitter, saying people are using GoFundMe to beg for insulin. She represents constituents in both Queens and the Bronx, where diabetes cases are the highest in New York.
I was just in Jackson Heights this morning listening to families who were talking about how they literally are forced to choose between their medicine and making their rent check on time.
Dr. David Lamb is an endocrinologist at Mount Sinai, and he says he sees the problem firsthand. Says it crosses all socioeconomic lines.
Out of maybe it's embarrassment, maybe it's out of fear. They never tell me that in the last 3 months they haven't been able to receive insulin, and then we check a blood test that tells me now they've done a complete 180.
An average vial could cost $300 alone, some paying nearly $1,000 a month for the life-saving medication. Diabetics rationing their lives for dollars is too dangerous of a gamble, and why bipartisan efforts to make insulin affordable for everyone appears to finally be underway in Washington. In April, the House Committee on Energy and Commerce, where local New Jersey Congressman Frank Pallone Jr. is chair, held a 3-hour-long hearing on the rising cost of insulin. This complicated diagram illustrates the very complex supply chain. It is why experts say savings are often passed off to what's known as pharmacy benefit managers and never the consumer. Dr. Aaron Kowalski testified to that very point and believes one solution is quite simple: bring the list price of the drug down.
We feel that people with diabetes should pay the net price, that these rebates need to be passed on or really even eliminated.
For type 1 diabetes sufferers like Alexine, limited access to insulin is a matter of life and death.
This is just yet another thing that kind of makes you feel like that control of your body isn't yours. You're very dependent on insurance companies and political leaders to kind of determine how you can best manage your disease and your body.
And for now, millions of Americans dependent on insulin continue to wait for Washington to act. Narmeen Chaudhry, Pix 11 News.